Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We're back from San Diego, finally. Here we are in Steve's house, and we're going to talk about something a little offbeat, something a little unusual, something that you may not have heard of.
It's called kombucha.
Kombucha.
And it's a fermented tea.
That's right. It comes from...
Russia?
Depending on where you read.
Yeah.
Russia or China.
Or maybe Japan, or maybe Korea.
Somewhere out interesting in that direction.
A lot of places want to claim the invention of kombucha.
Yeah.
We don't really care where it came from.
Nah.
Because it's pretty tasty stuff.
It is. If you look at it, it's a bit intimidating. Because what you see is this kind of white pancake-looking thing on the top of it. It is called the mother, or some people call it a mushroom or a pancake. There's another word for it's called SCOBY. Do you remember what SCOBY stands for?
No.
It's a symbiotic culture
of bacteria and yeast. I'm very proud of you, James.
Yes, yeah. I'm amazed. So it's this organism that we're used to using yeast, but usually the yeast flocculates out at the bottom. This stuff rises to the top and kind of sits on top of the kombucha and ferments the beverage. And let's see if we can describe. I got a little spigot on the front of this.
Let's try some of this. I've had this before, a commercial version of this before, and I will admit to you that I didn't like it.
Okay.
But I did have a taste of this the other day, and I liked it quite a lot. Now that's been about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So you're telling me that it's more sour.
It may have soured a bit since then. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my.
I'll get your taste buds going.
It's got a pucker factor of about 18.
I'm surprised we didn't squirt the camera with the salivary glands.
It's very nice. It's very refreshing.
But it is way sour at this point.
It's very much like vinegar. It reminds me a lot. The smell is a lot like Heinz salad vinegar. Huh. So get a thing of Heinz salad vinegar and smell it.
But I bet it tastes better than that.
Oh yeah.
So, but the thing is, the good thing about this stuff is that it does sour because it's got, among the stuff in the mother is Acetobacter, and there may be some Brettanomyces yeast in there, and so there's some funky souring elements in this gelatinous mushroom mother thing on top of the thing. So what you're going to get is some really interesting characteristics. And the thing is that here in a minute we'll show you how to make it, because we're going to replenish what's in here, but you can make it as strong or as weak as you want. And if you don't like it sour as much as this is sour, what you can do is bottle it, put it in the fridge, and stop the fermentation process. And you can also back sweeten it. Like if we were to put some sugar in this.
I was going to say, my first taste of this was very sour. Not unpleasantly so, but very sour. And now that I've had a couple of nice sips, I really get some really nice sweetness that's left in there. There is quite a lot of residual sugar. It's really quite good.
Now you can use black tea. We used, or I used green tea to make this. What you want to stay away from is tea that has oil in it, like Earl Grey.
Constant Comment, those kinds of teas.
Yeah, you probably don't want to get too fancy with your tea.
Yeah.
You can always add flavorings later on. But what we did, we're going to replenish this, and what you did was you took a couple of gallons of water and brought it up to the boil and added 1 cup of sugar per gallon of water. And what that will give you is an original gravity of around 1020. So, you know, if all of that fermented out in the beer land, you would get a beer of about, what, 2.5%, something like that. You don't have to make it even that strong. So what we did was, after the sugar was in there, we steeped the tea, 5 tea bags per gallon, for about 15 minutes. We chilled that in an ice bath to room temperature. And what we're going to do next is we're going to show you how not only you can replenish the tea that's in there, but you can share it with a friend. So the first thing you need to do
is wash your hands.
Wash them really well.
Wash them very well. Wash them up, because you're going to reach in and you're going to touch all the stuff, and you got to have clean hands.
So what we did was you reached in and lifted up the new pancake that had grown on the top and got the original pancake that someone had given me to start this.
And it feels like leather. It's very...
It looks like a science experiment.
Well, yeah.
So we transferred the original one into your jar, and we added some kombucha on top of it because we want the mixture to be acidic. We want it to have a low pH, and that will help protect the kombucha from mold and stuff like that. We topped off mine with some sweet tea, and this will go to work again and make another pancake, and I can share it with somebody else.
And then we added our high-tech
Air
airlock.
filter.
It's not HEPA, but it's close.
So you can continue.
So am I going
the
to make
process.
another pancake?
Yeah, you'll have another little growth there on top.
Well, that just sounds peachy.
You know, I'm not used to encouraging new growths, but so we sampled some of the sweetened kombucha,
And I like it. And when we were off camera, we were talking about how you could take this and use it not just as that kind of very 100% potent kombucha. So I was thinking, why not cut it with some water? Why not cut it with some tea?
Right?
It's really good.
And we're drinking it at room temperature, but most people, I would assume, drink it chilled. And if you want an effervescent kombucha, you can be very careful. But while it's still working, you can bottle it, and just like root beer, you can set it in a bottle and check it. Check the bottles, every couple days, and once they get to where the carbonation level is right, you stick them in the fridge to make sure you don't get bottle bombs. Very important.
Yeah, that'd be a good use of the plastic, like the Mr. Beer style.
Right, the PET
So you
bottles.
you can just
PET
feel
bottles.
it become very hard, then you get carbonation.
Yeah. So our disclaimer is that this is the first batch of this stuff that we've ever made, but it seems to be very easy to make. You do have to be careful because it can get moldy, and if it gets moldy, you need to probably just throw it out. But check on the web, just like we did, and find out how to do this. Have some fun. Be careful, as usual, when you're dealing with fermented foods. Just like with the sauerkraut episode, this is our disclaimer that we are not complete experts on this, but this is the basic way to do it.
Yeah. So
have it, do it, have it, and have a lot of fun.
cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Happy kombucha.
Woohoo!
Come and visit us on the web at basicbrewing.com. You can find archived lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Extract Brewing and Partial Mashing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, Introduction to Wine Kits, and our 2011 Brewer's Logbook. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to James at basicbrewing.com, Steve at basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.